Hi, I received a Facebook comment recently from a man, and he was reminding us that breast cancer is not only a female disease. It comes from Steve Delgardo. It came to me on June 8th at 3:37 p.m. And Steve writes that he is a 2-year cancer survivor and that it's really important to get people to understand that men can get breast cancer too. And there are a lot of people that just don't understand that. And quite honestly, getting men to step out and say they have breast cancer is kind of challenging. But the message isn't about the fact that men have breasts. That's the wrong message. We all have breast tissue. And it's okay to say that you have male breast cancer. Now, Steve writes that he has a foundation. It's called Protect the Pecs. And it's aimed at helping men in their breast cancer journey, and that their goals are to raise funds for medical research, not enough for that, to provide gift bags to recently diagnosed men, to educate, and eventually to even build wellness centers. And he includes that he is a Ford Warrior in Pink Model of Courage for 2015. And you can read his story at www.protectthepecs.org. And you know something, this really is important to remember because, when we talk about breast cancer, we almost always relate it to women. And, even though the numbers are very small, men too can be at risk for and diagnosed with this disease. This year, about 2,360 men are expected to be diagnosed. And I know that the number accounts for less than 1% of all the breast cancer. But let's remember, these are men. They have families that are going to be affected. Because it's so rare, it is difficult to really understand the number of male breast cancer cases. However, when the case studies from a lot of different small groups are combined, we can actually learn a lot. So, what are the facts? To start with, again, we all have breast tissue. Boys, girls, men, women, we all have it. For females, certain hormones stimulate the growth of breast tissue during puberty, and men don't normally make much of those hormones. As a result, their breast tissue generally remains small and flat. And there are risk factors also for men, like growing older. I know, it's the same for women. Risk for breast cancer absolutely increases with age. For men, the average age of diagnosis is 68. Another one, high estrogen levels. Now, breast cell growth is stimulated by the presence of estrogen. Well, men can actually have high estrogen levels for the following reasons. They might be taking some kind of hormonal medicines. Maybe they're overweight, and we have learned that estrogen is stored in excess body fat. So being overweight is definitely a risk factor. Another one, heavy alcohol use. That limits the liver's ability to regulate blood estrogen levels. They've also found liver disease, lower levels of androgens, those are the male hormones, and higher levels of estrogen, the female hormones, can be a problem with liver disease. And then finally, just like us, strong family history of breast cancer, or the genetic alterations like BRCA1 and BRCA2, and particularly if other men in the family have also had it. But, since men aren't routinely screened, their cancer tends to be more advanced than women at the time of detection. In fact, research has shown that the time between the very first symptoms and diagnosis is usually about 19 months. Boy, when you're talking about cancer, that can be a very long time. And there are also symptoms that men should pay attention to, and especially if they are in that higher risk category. The symptoms are feeling a lump in the breast, nipple pain, an inverted nipple, sores on the nipple, or enlarged lymph nodes under the arm. We all know early diagnosis can make a life-saving difference. And with more awareness, men will learn that just like women, they need to see their doctor if they detect any of those changes, and especially any persistent changes to their breast or body. So we thank you, Steve, for writing in. And if any of you want to learn more about breast cancer in men, you can go to my website, joanlunden.com, and just click on breast cancer.